It's time to leave. But there is a nuance from Germany. Germany has no future. That's what the Germans say. Just look at how quickly everything is changing in the world. But about that right after we list the most important events that took place in Russia during the week. So, the Soyuz 2.1A launch vehicle with the Progress MS-27 cargo ship was launched from the Launch Pad 31 of the Baikonur Cosmodrome. The Progress MS-27 will deliver 2,504 kilograms of cargo to the International Space Station. Among the cargoes is a hyperspectrometer for imaging the Earth's surface in various spectral bands as part of the Uraga experiment. Mooring trials of the chemical tanker Azimuth, one of Project 00216M, started at the production site of the Southern Shipbuilding and Ship Repair Center of OSK. The first startup of the main engine at low speed took place on the vessel. Overall length of the vessel is 141 meters, with 16.7 meters, board height 6 meters, autonomy 15 days. For the first time in the nuclear industry, Rosatom's machine builders applied a new technology of laser steel simplification in the manufacture of complex NPP equipment. The Central Design Bureau of Machine Building has used the new technology to produce rod parts for pumps in the engine room of the nuclear plant. The method makes it possible to improve the wear resistance of manufactured products and increase the accuracy of predicting the production time of pumping equipment. Roselectronics Holding presented for the first time a mobile control center for unmanned aircraft systems for rescue operations. The complex makes it possible to promptly deploy a point in the field to work with drones. Using the drone, operators can receive real-time information from the most dangerous zones of the Chernobyl NPP. At Sibir's Voronezh Enterprise, a large-scale facility, a new DK-3 unit, which performs the function of cooling and purification of raw materials at the production site, was successfully commissioned. The new unit will improve the reliability of technological processes and environmental friendliness of the enterprise. The total budget of the project will amount to more than 3 billion rubles. Yaroslavl Motor Plant Avtodiesel presented a new 12-cylinder diesel engine UMZ 855. Compared to its predecessor models with 800 horsepower, the maximum power of the UMZ 855 diesel engine has been increased by more than a quarter, up to 1,054 horsepower. The engine is turbocharged with intercooled charge air, liquid cooling system, and direct fuel injection. August Group put into commercial operation a plant for the production of polymer products for agriculture, grain sleeves, and film materials. The plant was built on a land plot of 60,000 square meters in the Alabuga Special Economic Zone. The investment project was realized in 9 months with capital investments of 2 billion rubles. The plant is designed to produce 10,000 tons of products per year. Gazprom Neft commissioned infrastructure for commercial production of hydrocarbons at the ZA section of the Akimov deposits of the Urengoyskoye field in the Yamalonenets Autonomous District. The new production complex will ensure annual supply of up to 5 billion cubic meters of gas and 1.5 million tons of condensate. Russian block modular equipment was used to build the infrastructure. The Nifaz 9509 dump semi-trailer with a platform volume of 33 cubic meters with improved characteristics was added to the model range of KAMAZ trailer equipment. The main changes were in the volume of the platform, thickness of the floor and sides, stiffness of the rear wall, load capacity of the hydraulic cylinder. The frame of the semi-trailer has successfully passed the simulation of statistical and dynamic loads at a GVW of 62 tons. Cognitive Pilot has developed Russia's first fully autonomous mini-tractor with artificial intelligence. The robot is capable of performing all basic agricultural operations: sowing, cultivation, burrowing, plowing, spraying, and others. The mini-tractor, unlike full-size and non-robotic machinery, will break down less often, as the robot has no turning units. The suspension is optimized as much as possible. There is no need to install a gearbox. And now let's move on to Germany, from which the Germans themselves already want to leave. Look at how quickly things are changing in the world. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, when life in Russia in the 90s was getting worse and worse, the famous slogan, "It's time to leave," appeared. This was the slogan used by everyone who thought that there was nothing more to do in Russia. There were no career or life prospects in the country, and it was necessary to emigrate to the theologized West. Now the situation is beginning to change. A stream of returnees who have lived in the blessed West for more than a year and have realized that the West is finished, and it is time to go back to Russia. But we are sure that in the near future, small streams of immigrants from the USA, Canada, and European countries will turn into rivers, and the migration situation in Russia will improve for the better. For both Russian repatriates from all over the world and Christian foreigners who want to live in a country that will develop rapidly due to the life-giving sanctions will come back to us. And most importantly, in which traditional values are protected. We have already talked about these streams once in our past videos. Among other things, we told about two women who returned to Russia from Germany, one after 23 years of living there, the other after 25. And both women have 4 children. We forgot to add that one woman, Olga Stumpf, had a 5-room social apartment in Germany, but she chose to move to Russia with her children, bought a 1-room apartment in the Moscow region, 35 square meters, and now they live in it with 5 people, and with 3 cats and a dog. Yes, of course, it is cramped and difficult for them, but they all think that it is much better to live in Russia. But our story today is not about that, but about why the word "it's time to get out of Germany" is already entering the lexicon of Germans. This was best told by one of the residents of this country. Her video was devoted to 2 questions. In the first part, she told our non-brothers who want to leave Germany where and why it is better not to go for permanent residence. She doesn't advise them to go to the USA, where it was good 10 to 20 years ago, but now it's a total. And Spain, which is not an industrialized country, but more of an agrarian tourist country. So when Germany starts sinking, it will pull all the other countries with it, including Spain. By the way, she informs them that they are unlikely to be able to enter Russia if they have any dark spots, even in the form of likes or comments on social media in which they have spoken out against Russia or supported someone's anti-Russian statements or views. In the second part, however, she just talked about why there's nothing to catch in Germany anymore and why it's time to get the hell out of there, not there. To quote, "I talked to many of my colleagues. I talked to my eldest daughter, and I just asked her. And she said that young people don't see a future in Germany now, and they are all trying to find places. Some are going to Australia. Australia is in demand here now for some reason. My daughter also wants to try Spain. She is now going to take an international language test so that she has a certificate, because without a language certificate, they won't take her anywhere, even though she is German." Then about those who have a profession. I have a colleague who's graduating. She's going to be a doctor, and a year ago she didn't even dream about it, but now they are going to. And her husband, he works in a factory in Ingolstadt. They are going to change the country. She said, "There are no prospects here. They have their own house. They have everything secured. Everything is fine. But she is going to leave because she thinks there is no future for Germany. She says because the wages here are very low, it will soon be impossible to survive." Now listen, guys, this person who a year ago, he had a very different opinion. And I started to hear this more often from young people, from those who can easily get up, get out and go. And the fact that now a lot of people I know who are doctors are going to go to Switzerland, it's just a revolt among us. It's just such a mass phenomenon in my environment. So, there is no future for Germany. Refugees from one country in southwestern Russia who are on welfare and go to the Tafel to get free food with even expired food, should know that the Tafel may close in the near future. Because I was talking to my aunt, who works in a Tafel, and she says that stores have started giving them less expired products, because these products have started to be snapped up in the stores themselves, because these products are sold at significant discounts. And old retired people who have low pensions and not enough money for anything go to the stores, as well as low-income people, and they buy everything. Therefore, the stores have less and less food left to donate to the TOEFL. So TOEFL may soon start giving free food only to the poorest pensioners who can no longer work and their pensions are extremely low, and refugees and other groups may be left without this charity. End of stats. And she also said that refugees on benefits should urgently look for a job because social benefits may be canceled soon. And it is necessary to look for a job where there will be a permanent contract. But it has become extremely difficult to find such a job in Germany now. The same thing is happening there as in our country in the 90s. The employer concludes a contract with an employee for 3 to 6 months, then says that he no longer needs this employee and does not extend the labor contract with him, and then takes in his place a new employee, with whom he concludes the same temporary contract, but with a lower salary. And so it goes on until there is someone willing to work for more modest remuneration, a kind of action in which the employer time after time chooses a new employee who agrees to work for less and less pay. In general, to get a permanent labor contract in Germany now, according to her, is almost unrealistic. Well, we have already once told you about what is happening in the German economy, how the notorious traffic light, the coalition government of Habeck, which came to power after the elections in 2021, is killing it. Germany's GDP is down 0.3% at the end of 23 years, and in 2024, the recession continues. If everything goes on as it is, and the Habeck government cannot change anything, Germany will soon really go down and drag the entire European Union with it. That means that the slogan, "It's time to leave," will become as popular there as it once was among our youth. And our government should make Germans add the name of our country to these two words. It's time to go to Russia, and it's doing it. It's actively developing the economy. Russia's GDP growth in the 23rd year amounted to 3.6%, and at the end of the first quarter of the 24th year, the growth accelerated to 5.4%.